Is there anybody out there, tell me where my wife and kids? I've been looking high and low, I can seem to catch a glimpse. See emerging from the depths, preacher coming with the hits, and shivers down your spine while I make your stomach cringe. Cause I spit with the sickest baker readily available, beating up the track more often than occasional. I'm crazy on the mic, anger problem is behavioral. I'm insubordinate, this is undebatable. You can sit and ponder while I spit the squander. The family fortune, I'm the first responder to claiming the title of Mr. Binocular. When I look I find this is the conqueror, so the mic was found, rings were bound, but she with the beat and I fling with sound. Between you and me the three break common ground, laying on the table for ultrasound. They ask me where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids, where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids,
yo, where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids at. I heard somebody bitchin' tell me where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids at. I heard somebody bitchin' tell me where my wife and kids at,
where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids, where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids.
Yeah, my palms are hairy and I'm talking like I'm married. Chain that's red as carry. I'm very independent, so no, I am not married, because if I were, my balls would be a couple of blueberries. I want to bust a cherry. I'm not talking about barely, but also not too much. I don't want her on my terry. Error on my phone, blowing up my service area. Riding with me, trying to turn my stereo. I'd rather catch malaria. On second thought, I'd like a leech. She could do it all for me, like I could rob a liquor store and she could take the fall for me. Or I could stay late, try and hook up with some nibbles. Hey, wake up in the morning and she could cook me breakfast. Now I understand y'all probably think I'm being sexist, but I'm only making jokes and I think you missed the message. Cause I'm boggled by the ladies in her single way, but I still pray that someday I may have to say, hey,
where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids, where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids,
yo, where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids at. I heard somebody bitchin' tell me where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids at. I heard somebody bitchin' tell me where my wife and kids at,
where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids, where my wife and kids at, where my wife and kids.